Hi Stampin' friends. Tonight we're going to use the True Beauty stamp bundle. It has a variety of floral elements, and I'm going to try to show you a lot of different ways to use them. Now it does have dies that cut out these shapes. It cuts out the one that looks like a rose, one that looks like maybe a poppy, or maybe just a different angled rose. This little kind of forget-me-not type thing, smaller type poppy or tulip, leaves, this, and like all of these pieces are cut out with a die. So that makes it super nice. Not all of the elements that are in the Wash and Beauty paper are cut out with a die. Now the sentiments are just because, here for you always, you are a true friend and with love. So those are a lot of fun. So I'm going to just kind of show you as many things as I can get worked in tonight. I'm trying a couple of techniques and basically showing you how to use the die that cuts the diamonds. So you can do your diamonds this way or this way, because this is my preference because that's how they're shaped for my sorority. So fun. So let's get started. Okay, so what I did first, and I thought I should mention this to you all, because if you're ever crafting and you're not really sure, you need to make some cards and you don't necessarily know what you want to do, one thing to consider is just going crazy and punching out a bunch of different type die cuts and then using some paper, because it will get you started on your way. So here I did the You're a True Friend. And so what I'm showing you here is just the paper that we used Monday night. And then I just kind of wanted to show you if we could put this gold on there as well. And that's kind of a cool look. But then also these look really nice with the back side of the paper. It kind of gives them a kind of a more interesting look. And then putting the little You're a True Friend on there, I think that could make an interesting design. Now another thing I wanted to show you is you can put these diamonds back in here and create an element, kind of like some interest down the side. You could also put contrasting colors. This would look great if you put maybe the, what do you call them? Mary Merlot or the coral. So anyway, I was just kind of going to show you this, that almost makes a card in itself, using that like you would use ribbon, putting that back in there. One thing that I suggest, this bottom one, it's really not going to matter if you use, let me try to show you the difference. Most of them have a very nice sharp point. Some of them here at the end have a blunt point there. So my concern is if you put the blunt one up in these ones that go to a full point, and I'm probably not even getting this where you can see it, but you can see the paper at the bottom. So what I'm imagining myself doing, unless I really think I want to replace like every single one of these, what I imagine myself doing is just throwing away the ones that have the blunt end, so that I don't accidentally get them in a place, upside down or something, where well, can you see that, what I'm talking about? Yeah, there you can. It's not filling the complete void there. So something to think about. You can also, I've seen people use these and just make little designs with this. You could, let me do this real quick, I'll try to hurry. You can make these, now probably not gold, but you can lay them down and make them into, make a little trapezoid kind of action. And then you can use 6 of them and make like a little, well, or 5, but you can make what looks like a little star. And then I'm wanting to see, like, get a small print and turn it into where it looks kind of like a quilt, and go around it a couple times and maybe put it on a square. So like that one, and then here's my blue ones where I've cut out blue and just kind of put them around. I won't make you watch me do all of this, but you can see that would make a really nice big design, and that would be a lot of fun to mount on a square or a circle and kind of give it sort of a quilt kind of look. So anyway, And I'm just imagining this would be even better if you punched it in or die cut it in a bunch of colors, because I just used a few. I tried to show restraint, so anyway. But I can imagine with this one, I would probably stamp either the little rose, or maybe the big one, or maybe this, and add it under the "You Are a True Friend." I think that could be really pretty. So that's kind of what I would do with that paper. And I'm not going to use all of the papers. I'm just going to show you a few of them. This paper, I really liked the way that it has these different brighter colors. So these actually came from the paper. So as another option, you could just create something out of the papers. Oh, I've mixed things together. Okay, sorry about that. So all of these are in the paper. So there's one that has a whole bunch that you can cut out. So you could create your own little bouquet, or you could put whatever your sentiment you're going to use and do the tuck under thing. People do love to do this, and you could do a lot of tucking around whatever sentiment you end up using. So, you know, something like that. Just kind of make, you know, pop up different ones, leave some of them down, pop others up. So I think that could be easy to use. So just my thoughts on that. And then like here, you've got these little guys to put in there, you know, and you can do above and below, that kind of thing. So lots of choices there with what you're doing. You could also, you know, when you have this up against an edge, I wanted to mention also, you could put that, just work it under one of the others, and then it won't be as obvious, and then pop your floral element on top of that. So I think that makes that part a little more useful. Let me pick these guys up so that they're not in our way. Oh, and it has this as well, so you can tuck it under the flower there like that. So lots of useful things there. Okay, so then I wanted to show some stamping. One thing I did was go ahead and stamp these in a different color palette. I used the Soft Succulent, the Fresh Freesia, the Mint Macaron, and then these are just extras of some of the others in case, you know, depending on where I would want to put them. So I thought that would be fun to use, maybe with just a white background on the Fresh Freesia, and then just kind of create our little layout. So maybe like this, put our flower on there, and this probably, you know, these are going to look different based on which side you put up, you know, like up to the top. So you don't necessarily have to make one be the top and one be the bottom. You can, but you don't have to. So then there, you can just kind of do a little vignette kind of a thing, very simple. And then of course I would want to add some colors. I probably would want to add maybe these in color guys, these in color opals. That would be really pretty in the Freesia, or possibly in the Soft Succulent. I think those would look great with it. Or these are so versatile, I love them. These are the iridescent rhinestone bling, and they're kind of clear, and so they look like almost any color. So if you only have space on your order for one particular embellishment, I think these really go nicely with a lot of things. Okay, so there is that one. And then I wanted to show this one. All right, this one, I just kind of wanted to show you. I do think, just my opinion, you don't have to agree. I think this is a little much, the blue with the floral behind it, but I do think there is a way to use it in such that it would fade more. So, but I'm just saying, I think that's a little much. I kind of like this green background though. I think that looks really rich, and I could imagine using a lot of the pieces that we had on this first card, like putting this balmy blue from the designer series paper, and maybe a couple of our they were very generous with how many of these they put. So maybe like that, maybe some little things, and just add in some leaves here and there. And then that would kind of make a little spot. So it makes it kind of cute. All right, so my next thing I wanted to show you is some masks. And I don't know if you typically do this when you're stamping, but I just kind of wanted to show you some masking. And then I also wanted to work on a one sheet wonder with it. Story about this, all I did was stamp these on a Post-it note, and I left enough of the sticky on the back that I'll be able to have some adhesive. Now you could get those Post-it notes that are sticky all over, but I don't suggest that you get the Post-it notes that have the extra super duper, whatever you call it, I guess you'd say kind of overdone, level of stickiness, because you might tear something, and so we don't want that. So just a kind of something to think about on that. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to do some stamping, and the reason I'm showing you on this is because I think this is makes kind of a nice little image layer. So I'm going to use my fresh freesia and my soft succulent. So I'm going to do these soft succulent. It's going to take me a minute to find all my stamps because I have all of them on different blocks. So I should have used the Stamparatus, but I was feeling like just seeing what happened. Okay, so then I'm stamping with the soft succulent, my stem, and then I'm going to go ahead and close this up because I don't know how much I'm going to use of that. And then I don't know which flower I will want to use. Let's try to, that's one good thing about this as well. I guess I should turn around where you can see, but I can kind of imagine which one I think and where I want to place it as I'm working on this. So this one reminds me a lot of a stamp set we used to have. Does it bring that to mind for you all? I can't remember what it was called now, but it was very popular. And this reminds me a lot of it. I think it was one that we used, we inked it with markers, and it's kind of it's bigger than that one, but it reminds me a lot of it. So trying to decide, I think I'll go with this one. So what I need to do now is just put this, you can do it either way. You could do it where these pieces are definitely not touching, but I just kind of wanted to put, I wanted to make sure that my stem showed, so that was kind of where I was. You could cut these out with your dies that come with the stamps, but you'll notice that these guys are quite a bit bigger than the way I cut, and they're also, if you used real paper, thick paper, they would stand up too much and you'd have kind of an edge. So that's what I like about the Post-it paper, is how thin it is. Okay. So there I am, kind of deciding how I'm going to do this. So let me find there it is. Guess I need to take these leaves off so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, I'll have to put those back on in a minute. So I'm just lining my stamp up to get it where it looks like it is like what I have here. So it's going to go like that. I'm just going to take this off, ink it up, and put it right back where it was. Because sometimes we just don't feel like getting out the Stamparatus. So there you can see it has like one side is tucked under the leaf and the other isn't. I don't know if that is a thing for you or not, but I just thought that was cute. And then you can put your little sentiment. I should mention that the sentiment that I was using tonight is with the, what's it called? I won't be able to show all of these to you because I'm taking the cards apart almost to reuse the sentiments. This birthdays are reminders that life should be celebrated. This is from the geraniums, the potted geraniums, and I love it so much. I've used it so often. So this is one that I think would look really nice with this. Just kind of tuck it off to the side and then probably layer it on a color like this. Maybe then cut this and layer it onto the soft succulent. But, always a bow, either in soft succulent or in the fresh freesia. Always looks pretty. I'm going to go through this. some of my fresh freesia on the ends has a little bit of, I don't know if it's like a pull or what, but that's why I didn't want that end. So that, I've gone through so much of this fresh freesia ribbon. I'm so glad that it went into the new catalog so I can continue using it because it is my favorite. There's so many ways that you can make it lay down and look cute as well. Okay, so then I would just put my little bow on, and that is a nice simple card that is ready in a hurry. Okay, so my next thing I'm gonna do, we're gonna see how this goes, but I'm gonna try to do a mini one sheet wonder. So this is the one, I don't know if you remember this, but this is one where you can cut, you're basically creating your own designer series paper. And then you can cut the paper to whatever size that you need for your card. And there are patterns for them all over Pinterest. Some of my favorites are cutting like a triptych of 3 pieces and putting those on a card, and cutting some side pieces and different shapes like that. And sometimes you can just spread them out on a card. So we'll see what we can get done with this and see how we like it. So the colors that I've chosen, one of the papers is just all spread out all over. But I was kind of thinking I might like to have the soft succulent be connected to some of the stems, the flowers, the stem connected to some of the flowers. So that was my reasoning behind this. So I'm just going to stamp around. Now this is going to ruin my little paper, but that's okay. I'm just going to kind of put it where I can put. I'm going to use probably about 5 of these. Try to remember to go on and off the paper and hope I don't catch an edge. Put one kind of in the middle there. And do that one way off the side. Oh, I didn't quite ink that one well, but that's what happens when you're kind of trying to hurry. I think I'll just put this one right here. Okay, so then I think the next thing I want to do is to add my little, use it to cover up here and add, I think I'm going to put the same one I did on the other one. I think I liked how that looked. And add those guys in. Really kind of try to turn them just a little. Now I'm probably going to forget to move one. I'll do it and then you guys will be screaming, no, you didn't mean to do that. There we go. And then what I would do also when I'm finished is just use my blender pen or something and add a little ink any place that it doesn't look as connected as I might want. Okay, let's see here. Oops, what's that? Oh good, it's just a piece of trash. I always worry I've accidentally stamped somewhere I didn't intend to. There we go. This one over here. Let's see. And one last one. Right there. Okay, so that is that. Then the next thing I'm going to do, I may need to use both of these because I may want to put things closer. But now I'm going to use my, let's see, this one. Use my Blushing Bride. Having trouble grabbing everything, have you noticed? Sorry. And I'm going to put this one on just in a couple of places. Now, you could just be finished with this. This could be what you're going for. So this is with my Blushing Bride. Just going to kind of put this one over here, and then there, and then there. And I'm only going to use 3 of those because they are rather large. And then I'm just going to use that particular thing, and I'm going to cover the spot, and I'm going to go back to these leaves right here and get my soft succulent. Let's see here. and add a few leaves here and there. I don't want to add leaves on the other side because that's kind of off the page. So I'm just going to do these ones here. Now this one I probably will want to add, and I probably should go ahead and reuse this little guy because I may get on there. Just put that right there. And then, oh, I do probably want to put one on the other side as well. No, maybe not. One batch of leaves is probably sufficient. And then this one here. And I'll put that right there. Okay, and I might should have gone a little further out because that would have probably made it easier for me. Okay, then the next thing I'm gonna do is, you could add these in a different color and do, you know, a million other things. But now I think what I'm gonna do is just add some of the little yellow guys, and then I'm gonna add in some mint macaron of the funny little stem, and I'm gonna try to put those behind. I'm afraid I'm gonna forget what I'm doing and mess it up, but we'll see. Okay, so I'm gonna cover that up as best I can and go back in with this. Okay, so the idea here is that I have this well covered, but I don't think I do. Just a second, let me scooch it. Okay, there. So now I'm getting my mint macaron, and I'm just adding this where it's kind of, hopefully it will look behind. So let's see. I'm gonna do a couple of those. Don't want to get it over on that other one. Okay. So there we are. You can see some, that's how I was going for that. I guess I won't waste your time with watching me do a million of these, but just putting a little bit of more greenery on the paper. And then now I'm going to put a couple little bits in these spots of just some little flowers, and then I'm probably going to add a little bit of leaves because I have, like I said, I have the sky, which covers it up. So maybe there, and oh, I haven't turned these very well. I probably better put one going off the page, and let's see if I can get. I don't know, that seems like I better stop, even though it's an even number. I feel like I better stop. So then I'm just going to use. I'm just going to try to do, let's see if I can clean that off, one of the leaves, just kind of like that, and then move it over here. And this one, I think I want to use both of the leaves because it would be around this kind of. Okay, and then over here, let's put the smaller one because one of these is definitely smaller than the other. And then I've just got the one more. I better do both of those. See if I can scrunch that in like that. Okay, and I went the wrong direction on that, but anyway, you get the idea. So then your next goal would be to pop this into your paper cutter, which I'm using the small one just because it makes it easier for you to see. But what I like to do is cut a couple of times, like different sizes, and then like a really small one, and then maybe a larger one, and then another small one, and then take these pieces. You can also, before you do that, you can like run them through an embossing folder to give it. Now I haven't cut this down yet, so you'll have to just kind of see here what I'm talking about. So sorry about the length here. But what I like to do is, oops, I switched these, hold on. There we are. Is put them back the way they were and then just kind of spread them out and let them create kind of a look that's kind of, you know, different than what we're used to, but yet still has kind of the same elements of the designer series paper. Or the last thing that we just did was our One Sheet Wonder try here, where we were trying to get it done, and then I'm going to go back and add some more of these guys over, you know, to the rest of this. But this one just kind of to show us how we might use our piece that we used. So that, you know, then this could be the whole front of a card, you know, lots of different choices there. And we use the Post-it masking pieces for that. And I can reuse those. And especially, you don't want to, if I were to keep using these, they would eventually get too soaked. So of course, I would want to let these dry, but honestly, once they dry, they're almost good as new. You're not going to have a lot of problem with seepage if you just let them dry in between a couple of the uses. So glad I remembered to say that, because that was one of my main points. And then we did this where we used the masks to let the leaf be in the front in case that's something that you want to do, or maybe you just want any of the other flowers to be kind of all in here, and you want to stamp it instead of cutting it out, because, you know, of course we have the great dies, so that does look great as well. Okay, then this one we were doing, I think it must have slid. Yeah, here's our happy birthday. So on this one we were using blue, and then we were using the back side of the designer series paper in green with the happy birthday and some flowers, and we were just gonna make a little collage. Well, not with that color, but anyways, you can see there what I was going for there. That'll be easy to do. And then this one we were doing the white, and we were just kind of this was stamped in the mint macaron, the soft succulent, and the fresh freesia. So that's one to add to our list. And then this one we were doing kind of just looking at all the different things that it can cut out and different ways to use those pieces. And then this was our first one where we really utilized the diamonds, and then now they've slid on me. Of course, we knew they would, but with the gold foil paper and an underlying, the one that I like the best, I guess you'd say, under the diamond die cut, then with a sentiment that just kind of, oops, did I do that? I'll have to redo. And then adding just little bits of these diamonds to make like a line, an interest point, like ribbon does. So what is the background die called? This die isn't called anything because it is part of the True Beauty bundle. So it comes with the True Beauty. So as you look it up in the back of your catalog or the front of your catalog, this die is part of that. So I can't remember if it's one of the more expensive ones, but it comes with this stamp set bundle, the bundle that it is. I appreciate you all watching, and I hope that you have a great weekend. Bye-bye.